Hey there, welcome to the Baby Playbook podcast. I'm Nicolina Koewska-Karufe, and when I was pregnant, I thought I did everything right when it came to preparing myself for motherhood. I read all the books and did all the classes, but nothing got me ready for the chaos and confusion that hit me once my little boy Noah came into the world. Figuring out your baby is hard work and entails a lot of late night Googling. This podcast is all about guiding you through the mayhem, from sleep schedules to decoding cries, feeling the baby blues, and then all of a sudden starting solids. There's so much to figure out when it comes to your newborn. Let me help you get there with the guidance of experts and first-hand experience so you can spend more time enjoying your baby and less time anxiously searching for answers. Those answers are right here in the Baby Playbook podcast. Today's episode is all about pre-baby prep. Now, I know that this podcast is all really about figuring out that first crazy 6 months of having a baby, but I also think it's really helpful if you are listening and getting yourself prepared that you do a bit of preparation pre-baby. This is very practical things that you can do and tips that will just help you really get started before baby even arrives. Now, when you're pregnant, you really should be using the time you have to prepare. Do this to make your life as easy as possible when the baby finally arrives. If this is your first child, you'll have a lot more time on your hands, so make sure you use it. But if it's your second or third, then you probably already know all of this. But here, anyway, are the few things that I suggest you do. Make sure you and your partner do a baby and child first aid course. Now, I know there are many different classes that you can do before the baby arrives. You can do a breastfeeding class, you can do a birthing class, but if you are going to just do one, I would 100% say this is the one you should do, a baby and child first aid course. Now, you can find one local to your area, and there are a lot of courses that are now also online, which makes it much easier for you and your partner to do this course online and to be prepared. The most important thing that you need to have in your baby toolkit when that baby arrives is being able to help them in a time of need. So this is a no-brainer. Make sure you either invest the money into it or find a free course around you because it is so important. Another tip I have is that if you choose to breastfeed, but remember, a fed is best, I would also recommend doing a breastfeeding class before you give birth. I wish I did this. Breastfeeding can be really hard, and I wish I was a little bit more prepared for it. I thought I would just kind of go with it and wing it, which you can do, but it does make things really tricky if this is something that you're navigating alongside figuring out your baby. If you choose to have a hospital birth, make sure you do all of the classes as well that they're offering following the birth. So this is things like another breastfeeding class, you can do a bathing class, you can do all different types of things. I would just enroll in all of them, and you can even ask your midwife at times if she recommends any particular classes you can do before the baby arrives. Okay, let's talk dressing. Now, key items of clothing you need when you're pregnant are also the same sorts of items that I will be living in once this baby arrives. So this is things like maxi dresses, stretchy style dresses, flowy sundresses, just something that you can throw on. Comfortable tights are a must. So I'm not talking tight activewear style tights, I'm talking comfortable tights, cotton, really nice, grabs everything and holds it in. Bike shorts are a big one, and oversized shirts, because you'll be probably sleeping in the clothes that you have just been hanging out in all day. So just make sure that they are comfortable for you. My other tip is that you take up every opportunity to have a nap. If this is your first pregnancy, you are tired 90% of the time, and for some reason we keep telling ourselves before the baby arrives that we shouldn't waste our days sleeping. Sleep now while you can. That is my big tip for if this is your first baby and you are looking for a little bit of pre-rest, because it'll be tricky to get a nap in once the baby arrives. Now, instead of buying a pregnancy pillow to sleep with, something that you can save money on is just using 2 extra normal sized pillows. This was a huge hack for me. Place one in between your legs as it helps ease some of that pressure off, and never feel guilty that you're taking up 80% of the bed. Pop the other one right behind you, and even if your partner is right up to the edge of the bed, well, you're the pregnant one. So if you're growing the human, you can totally position yourself with ultimate comfort. Don't worry about the pregnancy pillows. Just use 2 extra normal sized pillows, one between your legs and one behind you. Now, if you are putting together a registry for your baby shower, this is my big tip when it comes to baby shower registries. Only include items that you will use for the baby between 0 and 6 months old. You do not have the room to be storing things like baby bowls, plates, toys, and clothes that you really won't be using for a while. So it's really important that you get the things that you need at that time, because slowly you'll be able to go out and buy the things that you need later on. And you just don't want all these boxes and new stuff sitting around and taking up space. If your family and friends offer, please allow them to purchase some of those big ticket items to help with the baby. Things you could suggest include a car seat, a capsule, a bottle sterilizer, a cot mattress, a baby bouncer or rocker. If they would like to contribute to them, they can either, of course, buy the whole ticket themselves or just put some money towards them. It's okay to answer their question when they ask you what you need or what you would like for this baby. Now, I have a couple of book recommendations that I guess made a huge impact for me when I was either in the thick of the newborn bubble or just before. Not So Mumsy by Marsha Leone is a really great book that just reminds you of who you are whilst you're in that chaos of trying to figure out your baby and start to kind of lose who you are as a person. The Motherhood by Jamila Rizvi is literally the greatest book that has ever been written by parents or mums. It is a compilation of letters from all different mums, celebrities that have been through the thick of it and just guide you through it. It was really nice to read whilst in the chaos. I felt a lot of comfort from that book. And another one is The Birth Space by Gabrielle Nancaro. This is a really good book to read pre-birth because it is about birthing, and it's just a really nice way to get some ideas about what sort of birth that you may want to consider. Now, before the baby arrives, I would say you need to cook up a few batches of meals and freeze them. Oh, this will save you so badly. You will live off these in the first 2 months. Ain't nobody got time to cook, and ordering in every day becomes really expensive. If your family and friends offer to do this, then please take up the offer. Ask your nearest and dearest to make a few of their famous dishes and freeze them in batches for you to just pop into the oven when you need. It's such a great help. And if somebody offers to come and visit the baby during this time, maybe just ask them to grab a coffee for you on the way or grab a bite to eat on the way, because it'll be really nice and it'll be a nice way for you to fuel up while you catch up. At about 35 weeks, I suggest you do a big grocery shop for all your non-perishable items. So this is like stuff, salt, bags of pasta, peanut butter, muesli bars. Have these stocked up so you don't need to worry about doing a big shop when the baby comes. This is the last thing you want to be doing, getting out of the house and doing a big grocery shop. If you get to 37, 38, 39 weeks, then top these items up if you've used a lot of them. Stock up on those frozen meals as well, so you can quickly pop something out and warm it up for a lightning fast consumption during those first few weeks. Now, if you have any pets and you have this option, I would take them to a family or friend member's house for the first few weeks when the baby is born. The guilt you feel for not paying attention to them those first few weeks can really just be avoided by giving them a little bit of a holiday. And when they return, you'll have reached the point at which you won't forget to feed them each day. And once the baby arrives, take one of the singlets that the baby has been wearing to where your pet is staying and allow them to sleep with it. The smell gets them really familiar with the baby before they officially meet. And mamas, big one, take care of your belly. Try to remember, if you're going to do one thing during the day, is to moisturize every morning and night while pregnant and then post-pregnancy. Use a bit of an oil at a night and a moisturizer in the morning to avoid oil stains on your day clothes. Now, another couple of tips I want to share is around what to gift a new mom. So this is things that you can either pass on to a friend yourself, or if you are listening in and you have a lot of friends that are having babies at the moment, these are some ideas for you. First of all, do not stray from their baby registry. This is the exact list that your friend has decided she wants for the baby. So why question it? Just buy something off the list. Do not go rogue. Second of all, ask the mum to be what she would like. Tell her to be really honest, as she may have already chosen the brands or the types of products she'd like to use on her baby, so you may as well get her the right ones. Number 3, food delivery or ready-made meals. I've already talked about this a little bit, or even like a snack package is a great gift to bring over when you come to meet the baby. Super helpful. A safe option when you have no guidance on what to buy is clothes, but make sure to match the size to the season. This is a key point. And also some toys, but do not go for products that most mums have brand preference. For example, dummies, food, or skincare. They will probably get to a point where they have a preference there, and then your bottle of skincare will just sit around and not be used. Now, another little tip here is you could get a copy of my cheeky children's book, My Mummy Loves Fudge. It's a real hilarious take on motherhood and that chaos of baby and toddlers. It's very, very cheeky. So if you would like a copy, I'm going to link it in the show notes today so that you can have a look. It's a really great book and something to make the mum feel a little less, I guess, overwhelmed by what is happening. A couple of extra tips to finish off on. Do not call a new mum. Do not ever call a new mum. She does not have time to answer. Just text her if you need. And when you do go over to meet the new baby, do not stay for over an hour. Give those parents some space. So make sure you head out and leave them alone after an hour or so your visit isn't lingering too hard. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode all about pre-baby prep. Now, I am going to link some of the advice that I have spoken about in the show notes here. So make sure you go into the show notes and click around and have a look at what I've spoken about. If you are loving this podcast, I hope you are. Please like and subscribe wherever you are listening to this podcast. It is a huge help in getting it out there for other parents to listen to and get this advice that would be really helpful at a time that I am sure they are really overwhelmed by. Now, my last note is that to celebrate this episode, I am doing a cheeky little giveaway. So I'm giving away a copy of what I spoke about, my cheeky children's book, My Mummy Loves a Fudge. A copy not just for you, but you and a friend as well. So double the prizes. Now, if you are listening right now, I'm going to put a link in the show notes as to where you can enter. Pop your email in, enter for the giveaway, and you could be the lucky one that gets sent my copy of My Mummy Loves a Fudge. Cannot wait to chat to you next week. Have a good one. Bye.